Say his name. George Floyd killed while handcuffed under officer's knee while he screamed for his mother. Minneapolis, 2020. Say her name. Breonna Taylor, shot in her home during a police raid while she was sleeping in her bed in Louisville, 2020. Eric Gardner, put in a chokehold and killed in New York in 2014. Say his name. Michael Brown, unarmed teen, shot during a police confrontation. Say his name. In 2014 in Ferguson. Tamir Rice, only 12 years old, shot while holding a toy gun in Cleveland, 2014. Say his name. Walter Scott, shot in the back while fleeing after a traffic stop, South Carolina, 2015. Say his name. Philando Castile died during a traffic stop. Girlfriend live stream aftermath, Minnesota, 2016. Say his name. Samuel DuBois, unarmed, meaning no gun, stopped during a traffic enforcement, Cincinnati, 2015, life taken. Why? Just because he's black. Amandos Diolo, shot 41 times. And plainclothes officer in New York City in 1999 shot him. We know the reason why. Jordan Edwards, teenager, shot by an officer firing into a vehicle. 2017, Jordan. Say his name. Takia Young, a pregnant woman, shot through the windshield in Ohio. 2023. Please say her name. Vivian Strong, 14 years old, shot in the back by an officer in Nebraska, 1969. Say her name. Timothy Russell, shot repeatedly over and over after police chase, Ohio, 2012. Say his name. Melissa Williams with Russell in the same incidents in Ohio, 2012. Say her name. Also, Johnny Robinson, teen shot during civil rights unrest in Alabama, 1963. Say his name. Marcus David Peters, killed during a mental health crisis encounter instead of getting him help. In Virginia, 2018, they decided they were going to kill him. Say his name. Sandra Bland, arrest encounter led to death in custody, Texas, 2015. Say her name. Freddie Gray died from spinal injury in the custody of police officers, in Baltimore, 2015. Instead of getting him help, they took his life. Say his name. Alton Sterling, shot outside a convenience store, unarmed, in Louisiana, 2016. Say his name. Daryl Tyree Williams died after interaction with officer right here in my state here in North Carolina in 2023. Unarmed, as always. Say his name. Elijah McClain died after a confrontation and restraint, Colorado. Of course, 2019, they took his life, as always. Say his name. Andre Hill, shot while walking in a garage, unarmed, in Ohio, 2020. Please say his name. Timothy Rankins, beaten, literally beaten, by officers at a fast food, Washington State, in 2020. Help me to say his name. George Steiny Jr., 14 years old, wrongly executed after police interrogation. And even though this was many, many years ago in South Carolina, historically notable as police and judicial misconduct. 1944. There have been a lot of innocent, and I do mean innocent, black men and women whose lives has been taken by police officers because they have a lot of hate within. So they figure the only way to get even is to take the lives of others. Sandra Bland, mother's name is often included with her death, Texas, 2015. Walter L. Scott, often referenced separately, clarifies his shooting detail, 2015. Sonia Massey. Well, I remember this one, and I remember a lot of them. Shot in her home by sheriff deputy in Illinois, 2024. Dante Wright, shot during a traffic stop, Minnesota, 2021. Stephanie Clark, shot while holding a cell phone. Can you imagine just holding a cell phone and your life is gone just like that in California in 2018? These are just some of the people who were killed by the hands of police officers. And it has been a well-known fact that police officers tend to target our black men and our black women, preferably the black men, just because. And it doesn't get any clearer than this. There is so much hatred in this world. There is so much racism that exists within the United States. I know there's a lot that exists within North Carolina, but I'm talking about as a whole. I do believe that someday this will all be over with. For all the wrongful doings that has occurred throughout all these years. And a lot of men, black men, have been targeted. And there are a lot of mothers who have cried and shed so many tears. So many tears. When will it stop? When will the killings stop? Because recently, I want to say that here, I don't know if it was in Minnesota. Not sure if it was in Minnesota, but I'm pretty much sure ICE took the life of Keith Porter on New Year's Eve 2026, going from 2025 into 2026. You know how during the New Year's coming, a lot of people do their fireworks or they shoot their gun up in the air. Well, he purposely shot Keith Porter and went back in the house and laid back down, an ICE agent. And no one is talking about that. No one is talking about that. And I saw on one platform where this young man, I think his name was Rockstar, he mentioned it on his YouTube channel. So that's how I became familiar with what's going on there. But no one's talking about that. How someone who was so kind and so loving to everyone, loved God, loved his family. But they're not talking about that. So many black men lives have been taken. Innocent lives have been taken, and I'm wondering when. When will it stop? If this will ever stop, I'm wondering when. Because there have been a lot of people who have shed a lot of tears, and there have been a lot of officers who have gotten away with it. And I mean literally gotten, I'll say 95% of these officers have gotten away with it, and they just swept it underneath the rug as if it meant nothing. And that's been going on for years, for many, many, many years. Why the system does not work for black people? Why do they continue to take our black men and treat them like they're nothing? Take their lives. The only thing I can say is there will come a time. There will absolutely come a time when God already sees everything that is happening, that has happened. But God is not going to sweep anything underneath the rug. He's not. For those who took lives, innocent lives, and think that they have gotten away, they may have gotten away for a moment. But God has always been watching. God will have the last say-so. So, with that being said, let's always keep these men and these women whose families are still grieving for them. Let's always keep them in our prayers. Let's never ever forget them, who they are, and the ones that died in the hands of a man that took lives and it didn't matter to them. Let us always stay in prayers for that family. Be blessed.